Alors, bonjour. Je vais faire ça extrêmement court, 2 minutes, pour vous dire merci d'être là. Nous ne portons pas la honte. C'est à eux d'avoir honte. Tout est fini, mais Stéphanie a tellement bien parlé, Steve et tous les gens avant moi, que si vous me permettez, je vais vous laisser maintenant et juste vous dire merci. On continue. Voilà. So, I'm sorry, I'm being very brief because everything has been said. We need to keep our faith, stay strong, and it's only the beginning. It's going to be a big fight, and we need to keep our courage and our dignity. Yeah. Own us. And you know what? Je vais vous dire quelque chose. Si vous avez lu la Déclaration universelle des droits de l'homme, allez la lire de l'ONU qui a été signée en 48, parce que il y a tous ces droits qui sont bien magnifiques, hein, car l'ONU fait semblant qu'elle nous attribue des droits. Mais les droits, ils sont fondamentaux, ils sont naturels. Ils ne sont pas les propriétaires de nos droits. Mais surtout, allez lire l'article 29.3. Si vous permettez, je vais vous le lire tout de suite, parce que regardez ce qu'ils disent. Et ça, je vais remercier The Corbett Report, parce que c'est The Corbett Report qui a mentionné ça cette semaine, OK? Alors, regardez ça.
Corbett Report, everyone.
L'article 29.3 dit « Ces droits et libertés ne pourront en aucun cas s'exercer contrairement aux buts et aux principes des Nations Unies. » Do you understand that? I'm going to say it in English.
Thank you.
So you need to go read the universe. I'm sorry, I'm very cold, and when I'm cold, my English is not as good. Okay? But go read the Article 29.3 of the Universal Human Rights Bill of the United Nations. And 29.3 says, these rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. They think they own us. They don't. They're not giving us our rights. We have rights.
That's right.
They are pitoyables. Pitoyable. Let's fight together for truth. They are vile people, ugly people, and we don't want their ugly life.
That's right.
They're proposing death. They are sterile.
Yeah.
We need to fight for life. Alors battons-nous pour la vie, pour la vérité. Voilà, OK? Au revoir. À bientôt parce qu'on va se retrouver et je serai plus éloquente. Au revoir.
Merci Lucie.
Hey, honey.
Et maintenant, on a une invitée additionnelle.
I got the notification again.
We have another guest, a special guest from the Forum for Canadian Sovereignty, the FFCS, and I will present to you Vanessa! Yes, give a good clap to Vanessa, yeah!
I met this young lady.
Thank you. This is a little awkward, but this is what Patriots do. We improvise. Thank you to everyone who has come out here. Seeing all of you Patriots out here, you give me hope. It is so incredible to see how far we have come from the last time I was here, just 2 short months ago, on July 1st, Canada Day.
Yeah.
But it's getting very scary, very fast. These mandatory masks, the social distancing. We used to pity the countries that force people to cover their faces. Social distancing, this is the most Orwellian idea I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's a form of torture.
The government says that they care about our lives, that they care about our health. Through the measures of social distancing and masks, they've made it illegal to hug our friends, to go out dancing, to smile at strangers. But what are they working on legalizing? They're working on legalizing cocaine and heroin and distributing it through ATMs throughout the country.
No!
What kind of insanity of people out there, people who don't understand the truth, who see us in this giant crowd, and they look at us and they think, you know, my grandmother. So I want to let anyone who might be watching know, I am very concerned about the grandparents. I am very concerned about my grandparents. I want to know, how come my grandmother can go to a doctor if she is very sick, and she can get a drug for the sole purpose of killing herself, but she can't go to a doctor and get HCQ. She can't go to a doctor and get hydroxychloroquine, a drug that has decades of safety testing.
That's right.
To cure herself. She can get a drug to kill herself, but not cure herself. That is one of the many reasons I'm here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Huge crowd here in Ottawa, everyone. We're on Parliament Hill for the big freedom rally.
So something I want everyone to do. I want everyone to pull out their phones right now, and I want everyone to record this next part, because I'm not just talking to you. Pull out your phones. Pull out your phones. Get out your phones, because I'm not just talking to all of you. We're also talking to anybody who might be watching on social media, to everyone who's wondering, what are all these crazy people doing in a big crowd in the middle of a pandemic? Because they're calling us anti-science. And I think that's kind of funny, because I think me and many of you have formed our opinions on this pandemic, or this plandemic, by reading the research, by listening to doctors from Yale, from UCLA, by looking up the statistics from Statistics Canada, the CDC, and examining the methods by which they count people as COVID deaths. So I want everyone out there who's calling us COVIDiots, I want them all to know that we love science. And in fact, we want all of them to go and read the science. Read the science.
Read the science. Read the science.
Read the science. Let's get it going. Read the science. Read the science. Read the science. Fake pandemic. Fake pandemic. Fake pandemic. Et maintenant, en français tout le monde, faites vos recherches. 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 Fausse pandémie. Fausse pandémie. Fausse pandémie. Fausse pandémie. Excellent. Fantastic. Now everyone, I want you to share that with everyone who's calling us COVIDiots, and let them know we want them to read the science. Go, read the science. So first, you're going to go do that. Next, we've had so many inspirational speeches this evening, or today. We've had so many people telling us about all the awful things that are happening in this situation and trying to get us all riled up. And I think we're all feeling pretty riled up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of you to work. All right? Let's talk about what we're going to do when we go home after this protest. I have ideas. I want you to all start taking action outside of these protests.
Yeah.
So something that I'm doing, and I challenge each and every one of you to do this week, is I am going to go out and I'm going to talk to businesses. We are doing business outreach. We're going to tell them a few things. One, we're going to tell them what is going on. Two, any business that already knows what's going on, we need to bring them into our movement. We need to share all of these great speakers, all of these great Facebook groups, all of these great organizations with them, so that they can connect with us, so that they can come to the next protest, so that they can band together and stop and refuse these restrictive measures.
Yeah.
We have these great posters that we are giving out to businesses. You can find them on our website. Sure, thank you. So much easier. You can find them on our website. Our website is standforfreedom.ca. That's stand with the number 4, freedom.ca. So what these posters do they tell the businesses that they don't care if you wear a mask or not. I'm going to read out the poster. This poster here. Why we respect customers without masks. The provincial government has mandated that all persons wear a mask indoors except those with medical exemptions. But, it continues, under the CHRA and PIP-EDA, we cannot ask anyone to disclose their medical condition or for proof. Therefore, in accordance with the Canadian law, anyone who is not wearing a medical mask will be presumed to have a medical condition, and we welcome you into our store.
Yay!
I will be passing these out to businesses this week. I challenge each and every one of you to go print these out from our website and get together. The people you came with, the people where you saw the Facebook group, go post an event, make an event. I will be doing this. If you're in Montreal, I'll be doing this at 6:30 on Wednesday at Montreal Metro. We'll be meeting, and then we'll be passing out flyers to businesses. I challenge each and every one of you to also go out on Wednesday in your own areas and pass these out.
Nice.
So that is the first thing that I ask you to do.
We are live from Ottawa.
The next thing.
From the Freedom Rally here. Thousands of patriots.
Okay,
from
sure.
Quebec, Ontario,
The other thing I want you to do.
across Canada.
We had such fantastic kids who were speaking out. I want all of you, if you have kids, if there's kids in your life who are willing to speak out, film them and have them speak out. Post this on social media and use the hashtag #GiveKidsAVoice. Anytime you see kids speaking out against COVID, how they're feeling about these horrific measures, tell them, put the hashtag #GiveKidsAVoice. We know people want to hear from kids. So those are the two things that I challenge you to do this week. I thank you, and go out there and make a difference. We need to stand up. Thanks so much.
Vanessa! That was Vanessa, everybody, from the FFCS. And it is my honor to present the next speaker. He's a very good friend of mine. You ready? I know. Wait, was I born last night? I'm just joking. He's a very popular person on YouTube. He's a very good friend of mine, and he's here to represent the FFCS. Everybody put your hands together for Greg Wycliffe.
Let's go!
Greg was the MC.
Hey guys, is a little bit of rain gonna stop us from fighting for our country?
No!
I didn't think so. I'm so happy to be here today. I was here on July 1st, also fighting for our country, fighting against the lockdown and all these totalitarian measures. Don't want to ruin this expensive equipment here, but I look out and I see a lot of people. I see a lot of individuals. I see a lot of voices. I see a lot of leaders. Because that's what you are being here today. You are a leader. You are thinking for yourself and you're saying, hey, something doesn't look right here. Something does not look right here. Do you think the people in power right now, what do you think they would truly want? Do you think they would let this congregation happen? Do you think they would want this to be a legal thing to happen?
No, of course not.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Greg, what?
But I wanted to tell a little bit about why I got involved to begin with. And that's because I was very passionate about media, the media in our country. Okay? And I went to college. And I learned all about the CRTC. And they talked about all of these rules that are so important to uphold our democracy. And then when I joined the professional world, my career, I see a political campaign and those rules are not being upheld. That is a fundamental sign of cracks in our democracy. And the bias in the CBC and the bias in the mainstream media has gotten horrible. And I'm going to stand here today to tell you I'm going to fight for you and Canada against them.
Yay!
And let's have a big round of applause for all of the independent content creators, independent journalists here today. Let's give it up for them, folks. Let's go. Come on. The future of Canadian media is in our midst.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah.
He's okay. He's okay. Did we see the mainstream media show up today?
No!
No!
They are nowhere to be found.
Oh, Radio Canada, I'm hearing. Okay. D'accord, d'accord.
One mainstream.
Well, I imagine, we'll see tomorrow, but I imagine they're just going to show up to get their shots, get their little narrative, talk about all the horrible names they're going to call us in the media.
Yeah.
And you know what's horrible about that? People are getting used to that. It makes me sick. It's disgusting. Leaders fighting for our country being slandered by taxpayer media?
Ooh. Shame!
I gotta say, ever since I walked on the hill today, doesn't smell very good, does it? Smells like something's rotting in there. And you know, south of the border in the States, we are seeing chaos. We are seeing people burning down, terrorizing physical buildings, physical structures. But in Canada, we're smarter. We know that it's not the buildings that are the problem.
That's right.
No. It's the structure of corruption inside of the buildings.
Yeah. We are live from Ottawa. We're towards the end of our freedom rally.
I got involved in politics, and let me tell you, wow, it's an ugly place. The world of politics is an ugly place. I stood up for what I believed in. I stood with a party who you may have heard of, the People's Party of Canada, Parti Populaire, avec Maxime Bernier. And the media did such a good job at slandering my leader and our party.
Yes, we have.
Let me just list a few scenarios that happened. I had lovely old ladies running away from me thinking I was a fascist. And I explained to her, ma'am, my grandfather fought against real Nazis, like the real thing. I can assure you, I wouldn't be standing with that horrendous sort of ideology.
There were more, but the rain is...
I also had an 18-year-old volunteer, an 18-year-old son of a Polish immigrant. He was harassed on the street. He was yelled at by a man twice his size. Thanks, CBC. I had my back turned on me at debates. Thanks, CBC. I even had a volunteer of Indian heritage harassed on the street. He had vegetables thrown at him.
Wow.
Thanks, CBC. It was technically a mango, but that's besides the point. The point is this fight is just beginning. But let me tell you, right of that fight.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
And something I've been noticing, you know, it seems to be a one-way street for the regular people, and then also a one-way street for the people at the top. The people at the top, it's a one-way street for being a good person, fighting for the right things, and then going towards, I'm selling out my country, I'm selling out my country, I'm selling out my country, I don't stand for anything anymore.
That's right. Disgusting!
But then for us, the people, it's the exact opposite. We're in our little world, we think the most evil thing in the world might be a white Republican guy. And then one day, we start asking questions. Something doesn't add up here. What about what's that other thing? Oh yeah, the rest of the world. The rest of the corruption and heinous things happening around the world, that's never even talked about. The media acts like that doesn't even exist. Like we live in a bubble. But what I'm trying to say is us regular people, we go the other way. Calling it red-pilled, as they say. And we wake up and we're like, here we are in the real world.
Yeah.
We're not going back.
Yeah, we're not going back.
No. But thank you so much for having me today. Give it a round of applause for the organizers who put this together. Another round of applause for the independent media creators, independent journalists, and most importantly, to yourselves for coming out here to fight for your country. A little bit of rain isn't going to scare you, you know?
That's right.
And I gotta say, there's a lot I would love to say about the social pressure that we get from friends and family. Oh man, I've gotten social I feel like I live in a leftist hellhole sometimes. Okay? Sorry, but I wouldn't have it any other way, because I meet real friends.
That's right.
People with real values and who really care about this country. And I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's right.
But in doing my research, in getting red pilled, so to speak, you know, a lot of things come up and we determine, wow, you know, there seems to be a lot of foreign influences in our country. What's that all about? And I was lucky enough to meet some amazing people with the People's Party of Canada, one of which started an organization that's all about educating Canadians on these foreign influences and educating them on what we can do about it. The name of the organization is called Forum for Canadian Sovereignty. You can look them up at ffcs.info. But on
Standforfreedom.ca. That's the number 4.
Standforfreedom.ca. That's a much better URL. Thank you. Standforfreedom.ca. But who do I have on the phone right now? I have the founder of that organization, someone you may have heard of. His name is, he's on the phone right here. I'm going to put him up to the speakerphone. His name is Mark Friesen. Are you there, Mark?
I am here. Can you all hear me? Beautiful. Patriots. Canadians. Lovers of freedom. I am so extremely proud and moved to see you all there. What moves me the most is we're seeing French Canadians, English Canadians, First Nation Canadians standing together to save our country. This is exactly what we need to take our country back and to protect our freedom. Listen, we all share a set of common core values regardless of where you live in this country. And those values are freedom, liberty, justice. We need to protect those. Those are the core values that are under attack by a common enemy we have to identify, the globalists. Globalism is the enemy. We need to stand to it. And this is a huge step in that direction. You make me all so proud.
We are live from
I
Parliament
understand
Hill.
and I get it. We're all there for the masks and the lockdowns and the attack against our freedoms in regard to COVID. We have to understand that this is a bigger issue. This is a much bigger agenda. This is part of it, and it's a big part of it because they're using it to achieve their goals. We all have to understand that it is globalism is the root of the problem. The Sustainable Development Agenda and all of its targets and all of its goals. This is part of it. 17 of the goals, 14 of which are vaccine related. They said it themselves. They've admitted to the New World Order. We don't want a New World Order. We want Canadian sovereignty.
That's right. So he's the founder of the Forum
I'm
for
not
Canadian
going to take up any more time, you guys. I just wanted to be part of this. I regret that I can't be there, and I'm going to be there next time if I can get whatever it is that I'm going to figure it out. But I just wanted to be part of it, send a quick message, and tell you how proud I am to see all of these Canadians, just Canadians, that's all we are, fighting for freedom. I love every single one of you. I want to hug every one of you. Thank you so much for showing up.
All right, thanks, Mark. I'll talk to you soon, man. Give it up for Mark Friesen, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I just did there? I did it myself. Okay? It can happen. We have the technology to fight against corruption. I want to thank Kelly and everybody at the line and Hugs Over Masks for having me again. You can check me out on YouTube at Greg Wycliffe. Hi to everybody online as well. And let's enjoy the rest of the day, huh?
Greg Wycliffe, everybody! Let me hear it one more time. We've got a few more speakers out here, and I know you're getting tired of the rain, so just bear with us, and following them, I'm going to take this microphone because I do have a few things to say.
Well, good job, lads. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you for being patient and here with us all afternoon. You are true warriors of light! 2 or 3 speakers left, French speakers. Just gonna introduce the next one. Okay? So, she has a lot to say. She's gonna, yeah. Alors, la prochaine invitée, the next speaker. Let's applause loudly Edith Tremblay!
Bonjour tout le monde! J'irai pas en anglais parce que j'ai un gros accent. Écoutez, nous au Québec, là, on a affaire à un gouvernement là, que ça va pas du tout. OK? Ils ont des petits meetings le matin avec le directeur de la santé publique. Ça n'a pas d'allure, ça. OK? Le directeur de la santé publique, c'est un fonctionnaire. Ils n'ont pas d'affaire à faire ça. Imaginez-le s'il y avait un meeting à tous les soirs puis à tous les matins avec le directeur des poursuites criminelles et pénales. Hey, c'est qui qu'on arrête aujourd'hui? Ça se fait pas. Il fait pas sa job. OK? Nous, on est supposé d'être dans un des pays les plus libres. On n'avait même pas le droit d'aller voir nos enfants s'ils étaient dans une autre région. Je pouvais même pas aller voir ma fille qui était à quelques kilomètres parce qu'elle était dans une autre région pendant cette pandémie-là. Ça, c'est inacceptable. On n'a pas d'affaire à accepter ça. Ça va à l'encontre de la Charte des droits et libertés de la personne. Pour un virus qui a un taux de létalité très bas, comme la grippe. Ils ont fait bien des affaires, mais je pense pas qu'ils vont trafiquer les statistiques. Puis les statistiques, on les a. Puis on a affaire à un directeur de la santé publique qui se contredit. Faites-vous juste imaginer ce médecin-là à la cour qui nous dit au mois de mars, le masque, c'est pour les professionnels de la santé. Ça prend un protocole pour le mettre et un protocole pour l'enlever. Puis tout d'un coup, il change d'idée. Tout d'un coup, c'est devenu la nouvelle norme sociale. Tout d'un coup, ils nous disent que c'est là pour rester. Puis on sait pas combien de temps que ça va rester.
They need to be arrested, I think she's saying.
Puis à tous les 10 jours, ils renouvellent un décret. Puis les décrets, c'est pas de la démocratie, ça.
Amazing.
Le premier ministre, c'est pas sa job de communiquer avec lui.
The Prime Minister is not doing, it's not his
Lui,
job.
il est supposé de prendre ses recommandations à lui, que lui, ça vient de l'OMS, puis emmener ça à l'Assemblée nationale. C'est ça, la vraie politique.
It's hard to
Il n'y en a plus d'opposition. Il n'y a plus personne qui fait rien.
It's so passionate, it's amazing.
Oui, puis nous sommes le peuple.
We are the people.
Puis là, je vous attends à l'Assemblée nationale le 15 septembre. Puis je vous invite, les anglophones aussi.
We are
Parce que le 15 septembre, ils sont supposés de débattre puis essayent de nous passer la loi 61. Puis la loi 61, c'est du totalitarisme. C'est de la dictature extrême comme qu'on n'aura jamais vu.
they're opposing Law 61.
Avez-vous envie d'une crise d'octobre 2020? On n'en veut pas.
No,
Est-ce qu'il y en a parmi vous qui se rappellent la crise d'octobre 70?
we're not gonna permit it.
Mais
No!
on n'en veut pas de ça.
We're not gonna
OK?
permit it. She's
Puis ils
amazing.
votent des lois supérieures.
Wow.
Sur mon Facebook, j'ai vu qu'il était marqué employeur dans mes employeurs. Que je travaillais plus pour la CSDM, la CSSDM. C'est le centre de service scolaire. Ils ont aboli les commissions scolaires sous baillon. Mais savez-vous qu'est-ce que ça veut dire, ça? Ça veut dire qu'il n'y a plus de commissaires qui vérifient qu'est-ce que le gouvernement va faire avec nos enfants.
They're
Ça
not.
veut... Oui, c'est ça, chou.
You know what it wanted to do.
Ça veut dire que c'est le gouvernement qui décide tout maintenant pour nos enfants. Il n'y a plus personne pour leur mettre les bâtons dans les roues. On attend quoi? Oui, sans pas d'aller, on attend quoi de ne plus avoir aucun droit? C'est inacceptable. Puis un gouvernement qui mêle les droits et les privilèges
My phone is about to die.
dans leur
guys.
publicité. Ils font plein de publicité sur la COVID au mieux de mettre l'argent dans la bonne place. Mettre l'argent dans les CHSLD qui ont négociation sociale, puis c'est bien fait. Mais il y en a plein d'études en psychologie, puis ça prend pas un bac en psycho pour savoir ça. Que des enfants orphelins qui vivent pas d'affection, ça décède dans les orphelinats. Il y en a en masse. Puis là, c'est inacceptable. Il va falloir qu'on fasse de quoi avant que ça soit trop tard. Puis avez-vous vu vos professeurs de maternelle? Ben, ça fait dur